Hope everyone had a marvelous Monday. Welcome to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. You see in the chat, I already see things going tonight, but obviously the title of or in the topic, the discussion point for tonight was really about this wide receiver class, which isn't much. You got Daniel Odom, and Daniel Odom's not even a guarantee. Yep, Chad Skinner. Run a little late, but I'm here. Appreciate you guys joining us. I think that, Daniel Odom being the only one, and is there a concern that he doesn't end up at OU? I think there's probably people talking about that. I mean, you had the connection with JadenO'Neal, who's no longer committed to OU. Obviously, Daniel Odom did take a visit to Florida State where O'Neal is committed, but Med says not worried about the receiver room. Many avenues to address needs. Let's see who steps up. Now, I will agree. This year, I mean, we're talking about recruits for the future, but to me, with the transfer portal and, I mean, they can go get some guys. I'm just going to flat out say it. Receiving wide receiver core is not an area where I'm going to bank a lot of that you got to have just 5 stars across the board everywhere. I'm sorry. You do in the trenches. You absolutely do in the trenches. But if I'm going to sacrifice at a position, maybe it's that. Grey God says wide receiver recruits scared of Smitty and injuries. I don't know. Maybe people are talking. I have no idea. I don't think that's it. They are really young guys. I mean, if you look at the wide receiver room, I mean, they played how many freshmen last year? There's talks of Elijah Thomas possibly playing this year. The other guys, Kearney, Reagans, Jordan, Carry-On. I'm missing someone, but they're very young in a lot of areas. So, I'm not concerned yet. You have 2 years where the cupboard is bare, you start getting concerned. I think that, to me, I think it is. I think that OU's 2026 class is absolutely pathetic. It's not pathetic. It's not great. I'll agree that it's not great, but I'll also say this. It's got a chance in the next couple of weeks to get a lot better. Cruel. Eberhardt commits, I think, July 12th. Gross, maybe the 11th or something like that. You'll see. You got to see how it finishes out. You're exactly right, Sooner Cowboy. Hey, Sooner Thron and Chief Keep, I see your comment here, and I'm going to 100% agree with you. I honestly don't know what people see in Zion Reagans. I get that he's a speedster. But to me, Zion Kearney's the one I think out of the two Zions have the best upside. I mean, you know what you're getting with Reagans. Small, scat guy, I just don't see it. As Jim Nagy said, chill. I agree, yeah. I bet the majority of guys to rise to 4 stars that are 3 stars right now. I mean, we'll see. Now, Chief Keep says coaching malpractice. Are you talking about Zion Reagans coaching malpractice? I don't think Zion Reagans was coaching malpractice. I think they played Zion Reagans before he was even nearly ready, guys. Come on. He's a true freshman who needed to put some size on and get in the weight room a little bit. He wasn't ready. Facts, period. I don't care what you say. He wasn't ready. It wasn't coaching malpractice. They had injuries and had to throw some guys out there. Man. Now, I will agree with this. J-Dub had surgery on his ligament in his wrist. Never mentioned it one time. That's a gamer. That's a dog, period. The J-Dub, it should all be love for J-Dub right now. I mean, how he finished the series and now to hear this, unbelievable. Mez says, Jerm, on 3 has 2026 OU class at 18 today, June. Yeah, and 247's got him about 38. Daniel says, I think he needs to work on his physicality. Jalen Saunders wasn't big, but he had an attitude. Yeah, he did, and he was also older, though, I think, Daniel. I mean, did he come in as a JUCO guy? He only played at OU, 2 years? Or he transferred from somewhere. But I love Jalen Saunders. I think Jalen Saunders had an inch or two on Zion Reagans, if I'm wrong. Maybe not. But he was definitely better. Yeah, definitely better. And here's Matt with the worst takes of the night. Hey, go ahead, Matt. You get the worst take of the night. You get and listen. I totally agree with you. Hey, what? Yeah, what? Yeah. I'm agreeing. Yeah, they're all 1 and 2. I'm agreeing with Matt Rhodes. I don't know why, but I am. I 100% agree with you because 8 or 9 is not close to 5. I agree. You are so. I mean, that is the truth, Matt. OU is not going to come close to 5. 8 or 9 is way different than 5. It's a far number. So, hey, kudos, Matt. I agree with you. Great take, Matt. Take of the night. Love it. Austin says, hey, Jeremy, do OKC have to give both Dove and Chet rookie? No, they're going to get SGA, Chet, and J-Dub are all going to get super maxes. They're all getting ready to get paid really soon, I think. I may be a little bit off on that, but what was the question? Let me see this. Let me go back and find it. Sorry, guys. I thought the question. Oh, there it is. I can't find it. It was does OU, I think, closer to 6 or 10. Here it is. What's more realistic? 6 wins or 10 wins? Man, I don't know if neither one are realistic. 9's realistic. 8's realistic. 7's realistic. 6 isn't. 10's not. I think Chet, too, will be signed. I think they're going to sign them all, but I may be wrong on that. Look, let's talk about these receivers this year. There was talk that Deion Burks is moving some outside. I know a lot of people think that's a bad move, and I don't love it. I'm not in love with that move. I don't look at that and say, man, that is absolutely right. I don't do that with Deion Burks moving outside, but I do think they need to play him outside some and let someone else play the slot some. It can happen. It can happen, okay? Colin says, what are some must-dos in Norman on game day? SGA contract already don't fire his agent last year for he getting the max. Yeah, he's not gonna negotiate. Is Matt Wells leaving good or bad? Think he helped quarterbacks? Well, if I'm basing it off last year, no one on staff helped quarterbacks. They all were done a disservice. Okay. And Ben Arbuckle and the guy in Hunter, if you're here, you can drop in. What is the guy's name that Arbuckle brought in to coach quarterbacks? I can't think of it. It's a weird name. Those two guys are going to be coaching the quarterbacks, and I think that's who they want to coach them. Yeah, Wells wasn't even there last year. That's right. It's been a couple years, but and even when he was, how much was he with the quarterbacks? Like, it wasn't a whole lot. Last year, it was Joe John Finley and Seth Luttrell. It's laughable, okay? It's laughable. If we had any semblance of an offense, we get 9 wins, and I think pretty easily. I've said it dozens of times. We won 6 games. It was absolute trash, and they somehow pulled six wins out. It was you go back and think about the games that they lost and how South Carolina, just a debacle, 4 turnovers in about 3 minutes. Missouri, what they did at the end of that game. I mean, come on. It was abysmal. It was pathetic. Ridiculous. If we lose in recruiting to OK State, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Well, yeah, it's not a good thing. It's absolutely not a good thing to lose to OSU, but come on. I don't think they're going to. Colin says, talked to an Auburn fan today that thinks they come into Norman and win. They said that they beat OU and Bama and lost to Georgia and A&M. They could not beat us during our worst offensive year. Yeah, they couldn't beat OU last year. Now, it would be an absolute disgrace if OU lost to Auburn at home to Jackson Arnold if he's the starter. It would be an unbelievable disgrace. Guys, I'm going to open the phone lines. And after I open the phone lines, I'm going to ask that we call in and let's hear from you guys, the viewers, and let's talk a little bit about the receiving corps. specifically even this year. With guys that are coming off injuries, clearly have a lot to prove. And I'm talking about Jaden Gibson, Giovanni Gibson, both coming off injuries. You got Deion Burks coming off an injury. And then you've got some of these other guys that you're not really hearing about that were on campus last year. And I'm talking about Ivan Carrion, a guy who did some positive things last year. But you're hearing way more about Satania, more about a guy like Keontez Lewis, who I like a lot. I like Keontez a lot. I really do. I like him a lot. Phone lines are rolling right now. We got a couple of callers. Make sure you check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com and sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. You heard Kevin last night called in and talked about the new football designs are right around the corner. It's a great time to sign up and just sign up, subscribe to the monthly subscription, and forget about it. You won't forget about it because you get a new shirt every month. Wide receiver core, very average at best. I would agree with that. But you can win with average quarterbacks. And I'll give you an example here in a minute, but let's get to Jackson first. What's up, Jackson?
What's going on, Jeremy?
Much.
To me, when this wide receiver core, I think it's going to really be make or break by Giovanni Gibson. I think when you look at what he can potentially be, because you expect Deion Burks to be wide receiver one. We've seen him projected to go in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft so far. And even whenever he was healthy last year, didn't he have like 3 or 4 touchdowns in a game, Deion Burks, last year?
Yes.
So we know that the ability is there for him. The thing is, he just needs to stay healthy. But Giovanni Gibson, you're hoping he's back by week 1. I don't know if we were ever really too clear on what his injury was. It didn't sound too good, but I know Brent Venables said they expect him back by early in the season, which could be huge for this team. But I think that Giovanni Gibson, I think he can kind of be like what Nick Anderson was for OU, just a 600 to 700 yard guy, but just a touchdown.
It's hard to even mention Nick Anderson considering he only played 1 year.
Yeah, I know, but whenever he got the opportunity, he was catching touchdowns left and right, it felt like.
Yeah, and here's the thing about receivers, and I just said this earlier. They are average right now, but that is not a position that you have to have elite talent all across the board. Now, it's nice to have a Jeremiah Smith or a Ryan Williams. It absolutely is. But you can win. OU has won in the past with guys like, and this is not I'm not doing these guys a disservice. They just weren't highly touted recruits. Iglesias, Lee Morris, Daniel mentioned Jalen Saunders earlier. You had the 3 of the national championship team with Antoine Savage, Curtis Fagan, Damian Mackey, Josh Norman, Ryan Broyles wasn't highly touted out of high school, I don't think. I don't think he was a 4 or 5-star guy, was he?
No, right. And I know I'm very high on Elijah Thomas. So I think Elijah Thomas has a chance to do special things as a freshman. I think he's going to be very, very good at Oklahoma. Him and Emmanuel Choice both. Ivan Carrion, I'm not as high on as some OU fans. I know like the 6'6", 6'7" frame there. I almost wonder if he's going to be too slow, a wide receiver. Now, last year, you don't really know how good anyone is a wide receiver because last year, the quarterback, Jackson or Michael Hoggins, couldn't get 2 seconds to throw the football. So you actually don't really know how good the guys you have on the roster are. I know a lot of people just, all they have is last year. Jeremy took off a lot of these guys, and quite frankly, that's not fair to them, but it's the reality of what it was last year. It was just a horrible year offensively. It was an anomaly in Oklahoma. I don't expect that to happen again next year. And, I do think having John Mateer as QB is going to make some of these guys look better than they actually are. Because I think John Mateer, yes, I think he's a game changer at QB. So now I don't think this is the top 3, top 4 wide receiver core in the SEC, but I think it has the potential to be what?
They're not the top. Yeah, I don't think. No, they're not. They're not the top 3 or 4. No, I don't think about it. They're not top 3 or 4.
All right. Well, I'm just trying to say that I think this is a wide receiver core that has a chance to be pretty good next year. And I think this is an offense that's going to have honestly a really good year.
You just gotta. The scheme's going to be way better. You just got to get guys. You got to get open. I mean, if you get open and catch the ball, it does. Yeah. Really, that's kind of the name of the game.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I don't know if you've answered this before or not, but in the wide receiver core, who's kind of your sleeper guy that you don't think it's talked about enough that's going to have a big impact?
Actually, I talked to Hunter about this the other day. I mean, I like Keontez Lewis, but I like Satania more than others.
Yeah.
Now, Javonte Gibson was the one I was highest on, but he's hurt, so it's hard to say he's going to come back and be what he was before. And a lot of people don't like Satania very much. I like him. I think he can be really good.
Right. I don't know why anyone wouldn't like Satania because he's played ball in the SEC and he's produced at Arkansas.
Yeah, more on special teams, though.
Yeah. And what's Jaden Gibson going to be? Because if he's able to get back to 100%, get back healthy, that's what I'm saying. If we know that the potential is there, the flashes are there, so I think that's something to watch.
Because if I was 6'5", I would have been in the NBA. I've got the handles, I've got the shot. I'm just not 6'5". So you can laugh all you want, but you still won't play me. Hey, thanks for the call, Jackson.
All right, bye.
Appreciate it. Jackson's a little high on Satania as well. Now Satania gives Iglesias vibes the Sooner Cowboys, and yeah, he's somewhat SEC proven, like Jackson said, but that was more in the special teams. So, Matt, horrible take, dude. I'm not even going to read that one. Hey, I think Colin was on here earlier, but I don't see him on here. I think he had to pop off. But yeah, I mean, there's been guys in the past. You go back and look at some of OU's teams. They've had guys that definitely were not highly recruited, and it was more about scheme when Lincoln Riley was there. Now, they had some dudes at receiver too. Let's not say, well, they didn't have any talent. They did, okay? They had some dudes. But I would much rather – here's what I'd say. I would much rather have a great scheme with a great quarterback and mid-level receivers versus – bad scheme, bad quarterback, and elite receivers. That's what I would say. So, yeah. 918 says he had one wide receiver touchdown last year. Oh, I definitely didn't say proven in the SEC. A couple people did, but I did not say that. For me, he was great in special teams. I think he can be really good. I think he's got a chance to be good. Satania is one to watch. And honestly, Mez, they're all one to watch. Every one of them are one to watch because it's so unproven. Like Daniel said earlier, the reason it's average right now is no one even knows about him. Now, I will say this, Brennan Thompson, Reagans, Kearney, Jordan, Carry On. I'm probably missing someone. Last year proved nothing. So these guys won't have to do much to prove that they are better than what was on the field last year. Now, 918, I do too. I like Keontez Lewis and his size personally as well. I do as well. He's got a chance. Like, they've got a couple of guys, I think, that have some size that can get the jump balls. They got a couple of guys who can extend the field a little bit. So we'll see. Purple says somewhat proven. 37 receptions, 409 yards receiving. Yeah, somewhat proven. Good route running will be key. And guys, the jury's out. I'm sorry. The jury is out for Jeremy here on Emmett Jones. I have no doubt that Emmett Jones was just a light when he came on campus. Emmett Jones just had, he kind of had that, you could say, aura, or every time someone mentioned a receiver, OU was getting in on some guys. But the issue to me is what's happened to the guys that did come here. Did they get better? Did they get complacent? Well, we know what one thing they did. They got hurt. Okay, but I think the jury's out. Like, we got to see what they can do. Benjamin says we're going to run the ball a lot this year. More running than passing. And I'm okay with that. You definitely have to mix and match. You have to mix and match it. And yeah, Emmett Jones has to develop better. Everyone really needs to continue to develop better. Like, it's not, dude, Sooner Cowboy, Joe John Finley's been on his last leg for 2 or 3 years. And dude must be tough because he's still going on it. He's still going on his last leg. Dude must be tough, I guess. Just an analogy. Yes, we did. What did we bring in Mateer to run the ball? Or why? Look, Chief Keef, I'm just going to say it. John Mateer is a dynamic runner, but he picks his spots. He's also good when the quarterback run play is called. Now, it's not that he's just a better runner than he is passer. He doesn't have a weak arm, in my opinion. That's just kind of what he did. I think they're going to do both. I do think they don't want to get John Mateer hurt. Now, people would say, well, they got Michael Hawkins. I know they do. It's Ben Arbuckle's offense, and it's John Mateer's offense, and they've meshed together, and they've run it before. They do not want John Mateer. I don't think they want John Mateer running too much. They're going to have to pick their spots, but they're also not going to hold him back and handcuff him, I don't think. And if they do, I'm upset. If they handcuff John Mateer and say, we don't want you running the ball as much, or look to throw more, I don't know. I just want him to be him. He's got to be him, okay? Because we know he's him. Wide receiver looked a lot better in 2023 because quarterback and O-line was a lot better. We only have to be good, not great with our defense. We'll win lots of games. Yeah. Last year they were bad and won 6. This year they just have to be good. Now, Fanstop thinks they will likely redshirt, or he thinks they would like to redshirt Hawkins, and I agree with you. You put a true serum and BV and Arbuckle, they would say best thing that could happen is John Mateer not get hurt. We play Hawkins in a few games in mop-up time in case we need him and Mateer goes down, but otherwise they're redshirt. Michael Hawkins possibly. I think that would be the best thing, but in the day and age where red shirts don't really happen, it'll be interesting if they do that. Portal newcomers, Lewis, Satania, Gibson, Carter, Martin. Yeah. And 918 says he doesn't think the red shirt is real in the portal world. It's real. It's just not realistic. How about that? It's a real thing. It's just not a realistic thing because once guys red shirt, they feel like they're maybe a step behind. Now, listen, what's going to determine Michael Hawkins, in my opinion, is going to be at the very end of this next season on John Mateer's decision. Because if John Mateer comes back, Michael Hawkins, I don't think wants to wait around because then Bo Bentley's already going to be on campus, and you just never know. So I think Mateer and how well he does this year says a lot for Hawkins' future. Mez says, not worried about route running as much as designed route trees. Those designed route trees have been horrid lately. It's a good point. Route running versus route trees. In other words, Mez, if the route tree is highly, what's the word I'm looking for? If the route tree is an intricate design and can get guys open, that is better than having a guy having to just do everything on his own to get open. And honestly, that was part of the issue last year. It was either that or guys were open and we weren't finding them. The quarterbacks weren't finding them. But I agree. Lincoln Riley's route trees were unbelievable. You don't remember that? He'd send guys the crossing route and bringing the guy underneath, this guy going deep. They had another guy coming underneath. Like the route trees from Lincoln Riley's offense was elite. Period, facts, end of story. Cannot say I'm wrong on that. And if you are just a Lincoln Riley hater and you need to just stop, his route trees were phenomenal. They were second to none. Okay? I think Arbuckle's route trees are going to be really good. And I think they're going to be comparable. I didn't say better. They're going to be comparable. And Daniel's right. It wasn't one or the other. Last year, nobody got open, and Arnold couldn't read a children's book. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. Lincoln Riley is known for his route trees. And I just have to think Arbuckle has some of that. Dalpo says, I agree, 918, but if you're going to sit the bench a year, might as well redshirt and save yourself. Yeah, that's the goal. Like, I don't think Hawkins is going to say, play me 5 games. I want mop-up time every game. I want to lose the year of eligibility in case I transfer. No, he's not going to say that. Ideally, they would. Now, Chief, it's not going to be the traditional air raid. You are not going to, at least from what I've seen, what I've watched on film, you are not going to see a traditional air raid from Ben Arbuckle. Just don't see a world in which that happens. Jackson Arnold equals JT Daniels. Jackson Arnold equals DJU. Trying to think who that is. And I can't off the top of my head. I'm slow tonight, I guess. Hey, guys, check out the Fan Stop, thefanstop.com. You heard from Kevin last night when he said football designs are right around the corner. Okay, right around the corner. Sign up for it. Shirt of the Month Club. You can choose out of the 3 packages they have. If you like short sleeves, great. They have that for you. If you like a package that has some long sleeves, great. They got that one for you. If you like a couple hoodies thrown in, excellent. That one's an option too. You choose your option. You sign up. You use code SURGE. You get 10% off your first 3 months. And then you don't even have to think about it. You're going to look in your drawer, and you're going to have plenty of different OU shirts to wear. None the same. Always different. Always great. Do it tonight. thefanstop.com. I got you now. It's DJ. Yeah, I got you now. And that probably is a good comparison. Where did he land? Where did he land at this year, guys? Someone drop that for me. Clemson, Oregon State, and Florida State. Yeah. He's been a lot of places. Absolutely has. Will Jackson Arnold be better than him in the long run? I think there's a chance he will. I think there's a chance he will if he can figure it out. Chargers. Did he really? Wow. Did not know that. Hey, guys, phone lines are open. I'm going to enter it in here right here again. Phone lines are open. There it is. Be on for about 5 more minutes here tonight. We're talking now. Sooners Hunter says Dowdy makes the team. Yeah, I don't think he will either. I just couldn't remember that I remembered someone picked him up, and I just couldn't remember. It's still shocking with the type of career he had in college at the collegiate level. It was bad. It was bad, man. He went undrafted. So probably on a practice squad and probably won't. Maybe play a preseason, a few snaps, and then be on his way. That's my guess. Guys, a trivia tonight, and maybe Hunter can help me out on trivia. Last night I had one. It was okay. What definitely wasn't elite. I would love to. I'm going to go ahead and with one right here. Okay. Again, check out the Fan Stop. Here's your trivia of the night. It's a numbers trivia because I'm really good at numbers and I don't have to have Hunter look it up. But one of the other receivers that OU's had that wasn't highly touted, but man, all he did was catch touchdowns. It's Lee Morris. What was his jersey number? Jersey number for Lee Morris. All he did was catch touchdowns. He's like Chris Carter back in the day. That dude was a physical specimen, though. Purple Orca saying the number for Peter, who's not on here tonight. 918 got it. It's 84. In 918, we trust. Okay? 918, we trust. There it is. Lee Morris, war number 84. Were you guys huge Lee Morris fans? A lot of people weren't. There are a lot of people who said, put someone else in. I thought he was great. They should have thrown the ball a little more. But again, in those offenses with Lincoln Riley could pretty much scheme who he wanted to get the ball to. Absolutely could. And that's what I think you're going to get with Ben Arbuckle. You're going to get a guy who, yeah, he did. There were people I think that, but Hunter, there were. I remember people saying it. And Okie Lawn guy, I don't want to do this tonight because we're already almost out of time, and I don't want to just get upset right now. But no, people, listen. He was not horrible. He was not elite. He was not horrible. And welcome back, Okie Line guys. Missed you. It's been a while. Long time no see. Exactly. He also did not come on till later in his career. He came out of nowhere. Like he seriously, what? How many years was he at OU? Just 2? 21 receptions, 8 tutties in 2018. Wow. 21 receptions, 8 tutties in 2018. That is just a great stat line. Played in 3 years. 3 years, 42 games. So he played a lot, man. He played a lot. And I believe he was like 6'2", 6'3". Good body. He didn't have elite speed, but somehow he was open running down the middle of the field, and when he caught it, he would score. Played all 42 games, just offensive stats. Okay, yeah. Why is that typing on there? I think one of my sons is typing on the chat. No, all 3 years he was one of Kyler's top wide receivers at Allen. 6. That's right. I forgot that he was in Allen, Texas. 6'1". I thought he was 6'2". I forgot about that. Jonas, I can see you right here, dude. Yeah, Lee Morris was a guy from the past. Is there another guy that you can think of that you would say has impressed more at receiver than a guy like that? I mean, we can this year. I'm going to go ahead and say it. A lot of people are high on Elijah Thomas, and Daniel said it earlier. Maybe there's a chance that he's so under the radar that he has a great year. I just don't know. I am not sure they're going to roll him out there a lot. Now, it all depends on the injuries, and how those guys come back. But if those guys are back, I don't see a world they're just throwing Elijah out there week 1. I'm not saying they won't, but and again, I hope Ben Arbuckle gets to say in that. So, hey, good chat tonight as always, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Oh, Manny Choice. Guys, Manny Choice is no one's talking about. I agree. Maybe not this season, but for sure the future. He's made some good catches back in the spring from what I heard as well. So, hey, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll get another topic going tomorrow. Appreciate you all, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a terrific Tuesday, Sooner Nation. Thanks for joining me tonight. Hit the like before you leave. As Dalpoa says, just hit the like. It doesn't take you very long. We'll see you next time. Boomer.